Cozy Here With You by miloqu. Chapter 5. Hangout in Katsuki's room. Bakugos' point of view. I sat in class staring at Eijiro, trying to keep my vision away from Kirishima. My eyes darted behind me to see Deku was gone from his seat. Then I noticed Uchaka was not here either. Sir, where's Pink Cheeks and Deku? I asked, as polite as I could, but still angry and rude. Ah, I forgot to mention, Uchaka and Midoriya will not be in for the rest of the day. She is ill and Midoriya is caring for her, Eijiro replied. Oh no, is Uchaka okay? Mina asked. Eijiro nodded in response. Just a stomach bug. The lesson then moved on like the conversation was imaginary. I began to feel my anger drain as I laid my head back on my desk, my eyes darting over to Kirishima, who was doing the same. He's staring at me? I gulped. He let off one of his sunshine smiles and looked to Eijiro. I couldn't pull my eyes from his direction. My heart kept fluttering in my chest. I groaned, shoving my head in my arms. Are you alright, Bakugo? Eijiro asked, confused at why I practically just screamed. I nodded slightly, not showing my face at all. He's in love, Mineta teased, my head shooting up and my cheeks flushed. Shut up, purple perv. I'm not. I yelled at him a lot to shut up. I wanted the subject to change so bad I lost myself in the angle. You can't just go around telling people that. Bakugo, no. Before I caught control of myself again, I'd already gone too far. Mineta's nose was bleeding. His eyes were swelled with tears. I'd punched him all because he told everyone I had a crush on someone. Bakugo! I felt my own eyes swell up with tears, and a hand on my shoulder. My hands were over my mouth, and I was shaking. I never felt like this. I never felt like such a monster. Katsuki! Kirishima yelled, rushing over to me, shoving Denki away, wrapping his arms around me. I gulped, going silent. School ended. I had gotten a little trouble, but so did Mineta for saying something he shouldn't have. Eijiro saw how shooken up I was, so I lied and said I pushed Mineta and he fell over. Hey, Denki said as we stared at Deku and Uraka asleep on the couch. Kirishima giggled slightly and kept walking. So we're not gonna ask why they look like they're a couple? Okay, then. We continued to walk. We passed Deku's room and a shock filled my body. Izuku? I gulped, staring at the destroyed merchandise of All Might spread across his floor. Why don't we ignore this, whatever this is, and go to Bakugo's room and hang out? Denki grinned, clearly concerned about Deku, but too caught up in making sure we didn't worry and getting us together that he hid it. Sure. I scoffed, eyes darting to Kirishima, who was leant on the wall, eyes half closed. Bakugo, Kirishima! I snapped back into reality. I've been shouting at you for like a minute. Snap back to reality. He shook Kirishima and looked at me, seeing I wasn't staring anymore. Lovebirds, he muttered, rolling his eyes as he walked past me. I wanted to yell, but that would only make Kirishima suspicious. I nodded. We headed off to my room. Damn, dude, your bed's a mess. Denki laughed, staring at my mess of sheets and the pillow that was at the end of my bed. His eyes then widened as he stared at me. What was going through his head that I didn't know? Sit, I said, pointing to the chair at my desk. Kirishima can sit on the bed with me. No one's point of view. No, I'm overthinking things, Denki thought to himself, staring at Eijiro and Katsuki, who sat on his bed. I need to stop hanging out with Mineta. He laughed gently to himself. What are you laughing about, Charger? Katsuki asked, glaring angrily at Denki. Nothing, boom, bro. Denki replied. The hell? He's trying out stupid nicknames on everyone. Eijiro rose his eyes. They're not dumb, Rockman. Denki scowled. See, Eijiro shrugged. Katsuki replied with a snicker and laid back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. A couple minutes passed. Denki and Eijiro talking. Katsuki lay on his bed listening. His hair looked so soft and fluffy. Katsuki thought to himself, his eyes staring at Eijiro's hair. He hadn't had time to do it up in his usual spiky style this morning, and honestly, Katsuki preferred the red hair in its natural style. Katsuki felt his heart flutter as he daydreamed about running his fingers through Eijiro's hair as Eijiro lay on his chest, asleep. Bakugo, your face is red, Eijiro said, looking over at Katsuki. Katsuki yelled, face going redder and sitting up. I know what he's thinking about, Denki teased, placing a pocky stick in his mouth. Katsuki's face grew redder and redder as Eijiro begged to know what. Denki slightly giggled to himself. Nothing, no one, ever, Katsuki yelled. Eijiro giggled at his sudden response. Who is it? Eijiro begged, grinning, showing his sharp teeth. Katsuki shook his head fast and looked away, squinting his eyes and trying to hide his blush. Come on, man, Kirishima teased. Katsuki shook his head again. I know who it is, Denki teased again, placing another pocky stick in his teeth and biting down on it. The police spent half an hour chatting about Katsuki's crust, begging him to say. Denki respected his friend, so he refused to say, but was loving teasing him and making him scared and embarrassed. Tell us, Eijiro flung himself at Katsuki, pressing him up against the wall next to the bed, looking him directly in the eyes. Eijiro sat on Katsuki's lap for a few seconds in silence, staring him right in the eyes. One hand pressed up against Katsuki's hand, and the other pressed against the wall, the other holding onto Katsuki's shoulder. No one, damn it, Katsuki finally replied, trying to push the redhead's hands away from the wall. Eijiro's arms felt limp as he felt an overwhelming feeling of exhaustion fill his body. He fell forwards, head hitting Katsuki's shoulder. Kirishima, Katsuki said, confused. Eijiro was sound asleep, unable to be woken easily. He didn't sleep last night. Katsuki gulped, and then in a moment he felt something happen. His heart raced and his face lit up. He felt his hands move towards Eijiro's hair, running through his red locks. This must be killing you, bro, Denki teased again. Katsuki didn't have the energy to respond. He just sat, the redhead asleep in his lap, one hand in his hair and the other holding him up by his waist. Boys! Mina yelled, swinging open the bedroom door. What the hell, Mina? Katsuki yelled, moving his hand away from Eijiro's hair. Boys, do I have news for you? She giggled, clicking the door shut behind her and sitting on the end of the bed. Katsuki didn't have the heart to push Eijiro off, no matter how embarrassed he felt. He was loving the warmth of the redhead sleeping on his shoulder. I heard that Todoroki has a crush on someone in our very class. Mina grinned. Gossip, really, Mina? Katsuki soft. Mina grinned and nodded. Well, I know who it is. Well, maybe. Mina continued, staring into the bright eyes of Denki, seeing how excited he was to know. Who? Denki replied. Mina shrugged. Until I'm sure I can't tell you. Denki leaned back in his chair and placed another Pocky stick in his mouth. Pocky, we should play Pocky, Mina yelled, changing the subject. Denki looked at the Pocky box in his hand. Play Pocky? He said, confused. Yeah, you get a Pocky stick. 2 people put it in the mouth and eat down. It's the first person pulls away to gain a point. She grinned. Gains? Denki asked. Getting a point is bad in this game. The person with the most points loses, she replies. Oh, okay. Denki smiled. I'll get more people to play. Then later we can play some other games. Mina yelled as she rushed out. This is my room, damn it. Don't just bring people up here. Katsuki yelled, but Mina was long gone. Damn it, extras. End of chapter 5.